Welcome back to V-Roll. It's Thursday. We're typically looking for deals, and I have one I can share with you because there's no deals out there, folks. It's hard to find anything, really. But one I wanted to address just because it came up specifically in a comment. So I will get to that. I have a bunch of stuff I wanted to get into, and my head is swimming with thoughts and ideas, and I have some of them pretty well structured, but this is going to be a free-flowing, free verse. We've got a lot to talk about, and I got to do it as fast as possible because it could go on for an hour. I could do an hour on this topic alone. I don't want to do that today. Let's dive in. Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusive. That's right, the exclusive ETB from Pokemon Center. These always go up in price. Always. Since they've come out with the Sword and Shield era through now, they go up in price. On these later sets, recently, we're in a boom, everything happens. Surging Sparks exploded. Big time price on that. Prismatic Evolutions, obviously, really expensive. 151, really hot set, really expensive. That's fine. There's some understanding there, but we're just about a month past the release of Prismatic Evolutions, so I don't know if we can comfortably say that we're looking at scalper prices anymore. These are now considered market prices, and I know just manipulating the verbiage does not really justify the pricing. However, somebody out there is paying this. People are buying these products. Not just this one, all of them. All of them we have to look at today are in the same camp, and people are buying them. I'm not buying them. I'm sure many of you are not buying them, but there's somebody out there going, yeah, I really want it, so I'll spend $300, on this, or whatever the product might be, whatever the price might be. That's really okay, because people are going to do what they're going to do. And it doesn't matter how many of us whine and complain about it, or get worried about it, or try to create some sort of consensus that we should all just wait, hold on, let Pokemon catch up with the printing. Nah, not so much. The more I see it going on, because I lived through it with celebrations and that era, and the 2020, 2021 boom, because of that, I've gotten more comfortable with stepping back, acquiring less, and just knowing that there's better things on the horizon, and it'll be okay. And that's just me personally. You may be in a different boat where it's like, no, I want one of everything. I'm trying to master the set. I want to get this. I'm involved. Everybody's got a different stage of their journey. I'm not going to compare my start to someone else's middle, and I hope you don't do the same. We're just going to quick browse through some of these here, just to kind of take a look. The tins, the mini tins, these just came out. $206. Given the per pack price, this isn't horrible. I know, it is, but based on the market value says this is a $210 setup here. And it's not horrible, I guess. There's no temptation here. But the market says that that's reasonable. The market also says that the regular ETB is $120. It's bumped up a little bit from that almost 110, 105 mark. Okay, it's bumped up a little bit, rebounding just slightly. Those don't do us anything. But this is where it's at. The market is saying this. We did see $150 on this box. So it has settled into a market price rather than a scalper price because there was some availability. People did acquire it. Even if they only got a couple, maybe they're looking at, the fact they got two at MSRP and they wanted to offload one and recoup all their money. That's not a bad strategy. That's a way to enjoy the hobby without losing a dime. Okay, great. That might have been a good fit for some people. I don't know. It's savvy. As far as the business goes here, $56 plus $16 on shipping. What does that mean? Where are we at? $65 is what we're seeing here. Some of these aren't going to do anything for us. You got to dig a little deeper. But market says it's about $65 for the Prismatic Evolutions binder collection. 5 packs. Okay, we were just looking at this with 151 being about $60, 65, something like that. So here with the extra pack, this could go beyond the 151 when it's all said and done. We'll see. Time will tell. We don't really know what Pokemon's going to do or how they're going to handle these next few sets. The printing, the fact that they said there's going to be stock, but people aren't seeing restocks anytime here in this first month. They're not seeing any big allocations. A lot of distributors are holding product. A lot more game stores were able to get Pokemon where they otherwise were doing Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and others. So you've seen an interesting shift in the market as a whole, and for Pokemon Company to have to monitor all that and catch up from behind, it's going to take a while. This is not going to be a set that's going to be the fix. I don't think we're going to see a fix on Prismatic. I think even though they came out and said, we're going to have plenty of product, I'm losing hope on this one and maybe looking towards the future products. The Prismatic Evolutions surprise box here. $65.50. It's 4 packs, folks. It's 4 packs. Packs are what, 10, 12 bucks? I don't know, something like that. $65.50 because the promos are doing quite well. The low end promos are like 30 bucks. $30. This is MSRP at $23, $22.99, 23 bucks. And the lowest level promos are doing so much better. It's an empty box. Pokemon, why didn't you have 10 billion of these printed? It's an empty box with 4 packs. Pokemon Company, you have the opportunity. You hold the cards. You can do this. You could have done this. $12.50. That's what we're looking at. Sorry, for an individual pack, $12.50. Yikes. Those promos are carrying some weight. I didn't want to open mine, but I got mine from Pokemon Center, which means it came with a huge rip right in the front of it. Big cut from some utility knife, you could totally tell. I was the lucky one there. And now it's almost a worthless sealed product because of that. So I'm going to have to open it probably. Yay. That's good. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on the polls. They're going to be, who knows? Who knows? You never know. I know they're going to be bad, but you never know. This is a portion of it. Just set this aside. Table it for a second. Because I have another half of this crazy price in the market. Market price versus scalper price. Bear with me. I'm going somewhere. I know we got this. Let's take a little brief pause because it is Thursday. I want to show a deal. Somebody asked me about the Battle Partners box that I picked up. They said it was a $79.99. If I misspoke last time, it was $79.99. And I got it at Smoke and Mirrors. That's where it was. They still have it. So maybe this is a decent price. It seems right on point with market right now. About 80 bucks, 84 is what you're seeing in a lot of places. So not horrible here. $150 you get free shipping. So just that's the deal. But not the only deal. We got this deal here. Free. Free is the best deal you can get. I have a Brilliant Stars ETB going out to 1 lucky subscriber. We need 5,000 subscribers to get there. I'm also going to do 5 Pokemon Mystery card lots. Again, we have 6 winners overall. I want to make sure that there's an opportunity for you to be a part of the channel and enjoy it and, maybe win some cool stuff here as we grow the channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Very simple, very easy. And then, I want to make sure I know where to find you. So go to this video here. That's where you're going to leave an additional comment. So that way I know where to pull all the winners from when that time comes. Because 5,000 subscribers, it really could just be right around the corner. And I think we're getting there. All right, so Prismatic Evolutions has their scalper price kind of gone. Now down to a market price. Journey Together is going to be showcasing a scalper price. A wonderful, hilarious, obviously ridiculous example of this. It's the one listing on TCG Player for the Journey Together Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, the exclusive, for $6,969.69. Haha, funny. Why? Why even list it? Why do this? It's the only listing. The only one. Do they have it in hand? Probably not. Can you list what you have allocations for? Because they say 2, so maybe that's what they got. I don't know. I don't know how TCG Player works. I haven't sold on TCG Player. But people are really doing this just because it's a joke. They think it's funny. Basically, at this point, you can set the price whatever you want, and it could be a joke, a troll, whatever you want. Here's something a little bit more realistic. Journey Together booster box for $193.78. Okay, this person obviously has an allocation because they had like 21 boxes there. That's your lowest price here. So $193, $194, somewhere in there is what the current market price is saying. These aren't out. These will be available at MSRP, which is $164 or something like that. So paying a little bit more, probably not a great idea. Although, given the last couple sets, and if the boom is still here and people are hanging around and not stepping back, it's not that much more than MSRP. So, hard to judge. I'm not moving on this price right now. Just as well would miss out on the set, to be honest. So, that's my opinion for that one. There's other products, obviously. The booster bundle. It's already at like the $151 price. It's already at the Prismatic Evolutions price. It's like 60 bucks. I mean, this is too much. Too much. We're saying it's at $10 a pack. Have you seen the set? Doesn't feel like $10 a pack. Doesn't feel like it to me. The regular ETB at 90, that's better than Prismatic was ending up at, you know, with the $150, $200 in those early pre-sales. I brought up a point saying, why doesn't Pokemon want to make the money? Because clearly, something that has an MSRP of $50 now retailing for $90 doesn't make much sense for Pokemon. And then someone had alluded to the fact that I think they were trying to put me in my place and say that I didn't really understand what I'm talking about because Pokemon can only make so much and it all sold. So their goals are met. They won. Success for their company. That's great. Yes, but when you're running a business and you have a successful product, the business savvy thing to do would be produce as much of that product as possible while it is saleable. And we're going to take a look at that little breakdown and why. I created this little graphic. Let's just take an ETB. For now, it's Prismatic Evolutions, the regular Elite Trainer box. Let's pretend they are available at $100. Right now, let's say the market says they are available at $100. So we might say that's the scalper price. We might even say that some of the big box stores and local game stores are putting it out at market price of $100. That's fine. So the scalper now has that at $100, and you and me and everybody, we get to pay that $100 if we want it right now. If we couldn't find it MSRP, we couldn't get it in a pre-order or anything like that, we get to pay that $100. Pokemon Company does not make that money. They don't even make the MSRP. They don't make the $50. Now, I don't have the specific breakdowns because I don't know Pokemon Company's overhead. I don't know the transportation costs on everything from Pokemon Company to the distribution to the LGS. I don't understand all of the intricacies of the shipping that goes on between all these different layers, so I cannot give you the exact numbers. And it would be foolish to think I could. I'd be literally making it up. But as an example, I could give you round numbers to illustrate what's going on and why I think Pokemon Company should take a little more responsibility in the availability of product and emphasize a little bit more heavily on the specific products that are doing well. Booster bundles are probably one of the least packaging and best bang for your buck as far as cards and packs. Why wouldn't they pump those out? Why waste time with the packaging of an ETB? Why waste time putting out more binders? Why not flood the market? Crazy flood the market with the lowest cost impact for production. Let's take this ETB and we're going to run it backwards. So let's say I go for it. Yes, fine. I can only find it from a, let's call them Scalper, but at this point they're just a reseller. I think Scalper's kind of rude. At this point in time, it's been out for a month. The market has said this is fine. We've settled on it. So this is a reseller. We take it as $100. The Scalper got it at MSRP, just for illustration's sake. They got it for $50. Tax, sure, whatever. But they got it for $50. So the Scalper, the reseller, however you have it, they made $50 off of this transaction. No overhead, no storefront, no risk, no employees. Nothing. No responsibility, because once the money changes hands, they could walk away, even if they're scamming. That's the really scary part. So they make 50%, or sorry, 50% of the sale price, but they make 100% profit. They buy it for 50, they sell it for 100, they made 100% profit off of what they were willing to invest to begin with. Kudos to them. It's a grind. Punching babies in the face for it, I don't know if that's cool, but, you know, everybody does what they got to do. The local game store, they sell it for 50. You get it for 50. You got, you found it. Your LGS or a big box store or something, you found it at MSRP. You spent $50. Awesome. You got a good deal. Technically, yes. Because of the system, you got a good deal. You got it at MSRP in a crazy boom market on a hot set, all of that. They did not make $50. They made the difference between what they paid from distribution and you. They also have the overhead of employees, a storefront, keeping the lights on, making sure there's security in the building, having to deal with P&L. People steal stuff in stores. They're not going to be selling all of them because you got a bunch of crazy losers out there who are ripping packs in the back. I've seen the packaging. We all have, I think. It's ridiculous. It's sick. Well, let's say everything's so smooth. They got their $50 that you paid to get your cards and your ETB. They had to pay distribution, and they paid distribution $40. So they made $10. Scalper made $50. LGS, Big Box Store, they made $10 off of that one ETB. That's a good profit margin off of what it was. However, it's kind of tempting to be more like a scalper. So can you blame the local game stores for wanting to capitalize on this boom? Not entirely. The distribution, hey, they made $40. That's cool. But they get it at wholesale. So they had to pay for it to acquire. And then they had to house it in their warehouses. Then they had to distribute it with transportation and work out the deals and overhead of who they're working with, where they ship to. Distribution. They paid $30. But they sold it for $40, so they made $10. Pokemon Company, then, they sold it for $30, but they have the overhead. They have all the risk. They have the entirety of the company, all the licensing, everything you can see out there as far as advertising, putting out these different promotions, the website breaking down, dealing with everybody hating them for this. And they have the raw costs of the cards. So let's just pretend it was $10. So they made their $20. So when you spend $50, Pokemon Company made $20, distribution made $10, LGS, Big Box Store, they made $10. Scalper or reseller for market value made the biggest cut. Now, Pokemon Company won because they sold everything, right? They didn't win. Here's why they can't print more. They are at capacity. And what if they open up a new division? What if they expand their production line? What if they hire more employees, get more machines, increase production, get more packaging, increase their shipping so they can ship direct to you? Well, what about the set that flops? They have to carry all of that. What about that year where people aren't crazy for it? They got to lay people off. They need to shut down machines that cost them money. These machines are not cheap, and you pay them off over time of what you're reinvesting in and profiting from your business. So why can't they do it? Because it's a massive risk to even attempt to feed the market correctly at this point in time. It's a huge risk on their company. Because of that, we have these ridiculous pre-sale prices, trying to capitalize on the fact that they can't keep up with demand. You have these market prices trying to tell you that it's not going to get any better, even if they keep printing it out, because people continue to buy. People continue to buy. 380 items sold in 3 days. So there's 380 items on TCG Player, not to mention Facebook Marketplace, not to mention local game stores, not to mention big box stores where people are still able to acquire this stuff, not to mention on eBay where people are getting these products. 380 in 3 days on TCG Player alone, selling consistently around that $110, $120. The market will feed this beast, and that's the problem. But there's nothing I can say, there's definitely nothing I can do that will change it. It's just more interesting at this point. And it leads to an interesting conversation that Pokemon could find a solution. There are workarounds. They've had other printers in the past. They could get a contract printer. Can you handle a print run of this caliber, of this size? Yes, we can do that. Excellent. We're going to up production on a contract basis where they take a little less money on each product because they're outsourcing the production. However, they're going to increase the revenue overall because the product is there available. And let me tell you, those people who are willing to spend $100 on one, they are sure willing to spend $100 on two. Because now their dollar's stretched 100% further. The fact that people can't see this depth and all of the layers and think that I'm sitting there complaining about this aspect right here, the reseller, the scalper, I'm not. My complaint would be that there are options, starting at the beginning. There are whispers. There's so many YouTubers out there, PokeTubers like me and many others bigger than me, that can see these things coming the second they announce them. Hey, there's going to be a new evolution set. Ooh, I don't know. Is it going to be good because of those, the Terra look, the crowns? Are we going to like that? Stellar Crown comes out. I don't think people care about the crowns. I think they're over it. Okay, so you have all of Stellar Crown. You have all of Surging Sparks. You got some time to up the production of the lowest impact to production. You know, the surprise boxes. It's a cardboard box. The booster bundles. You know, the poster collection. To the moon. Print those things to the moon. Yes, everybody wants the ETB. Yeah, sure, everybody wants the binder. But if the market is being satisfied with the packs, then the products will be secondary to the packs. Being able to acquire it at all is going to be the number one. And there are easy ways to get there. And this breakdown is just trying to lay it down on paper, put it down and see what are we really up against. We are not up against the scalper. Not entirely. Not the reseller. They're a piece to this puzzle. Because we could go over here if to the big box stores if we're in line early enough for the four ETBs they have on hand, or whatever the case might be. Distribution. I mean, there are so many weak links in this chain because there are distributions that are holding product. I don't want to sell this. I don't want to sell this because in the future, I, as a distributor, could go to a game store and say, hey, I've got 2 cases of ETBs from Prismatic. Tell you what, I'll sell you those at this price right here if you get all this other garbage product along with it. And knowing what people know about Prismatic, that LGS, that big box store, they're going to do it. And they'll house that and put it on their shelf. And then they assume the risk of warehousing that garbage for so long, just to make the buck off of the hot product. But if they're smart, they're going to hold on to the hot product too, because with time it will go up. And then they can sell and trickle out a few here and there to keep their business afloat. And this is the stupid game we're all stuck in right now. And it's okay. It's just part of the hobby. But I think really this whole video and this whole crazy thought process was to just illustrate that there's so many pieces to the puzzle that it's best to kind of step back, take a breath, and be all right with it. Do your best. Try to get the things that might be fun and exciting, and enjoy the hobby a little bit, because getting bogged down in the lack of availability, that's depressing. Why not enjoy the cards for what they are, enjoy the hobby for what it is. This video went way too long. Sorry about that. Here we go. ETB of Brilliant Stars going out to one lucky winner. I talked about the giveaway earlier. You got to check it out. And yeah, I post 7 days a week, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Whew. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.